Hey, welcome to our Monday afternoon broadcast. Welcome if you're jumping on live with us, as well as those of you who jump in with us on our rebroadcast. I appreciate whatever time and way you decide to click in and take a listen with us today. I got a phone off the hook somewhere. Michael, can you check the phone? Okay, let's start over. Today we're going to be talking about magnesium, and can magnesium be the thing that could save your life, and what happens when we are magnesium deficient. We talked about magnesium, I think a couple weeks ago. I don't remember when it was, but we talked about how we have been almost misinformed or detoured away from magnesium and have been over calciumed as women, for lack of a better way of explaining that. And I'm going to share with you a little bit of how being magnesium deficient can really be a problem for us as we're going through this aging process, and what some studies are showing as far as magnesium deficiencies. We're going to be referencing this book today, The Magnesium Miracle, which I spoke about a couple weeks ago. We're going to be referencing this book for several probably lives coming up, because there is just so much great information in this book, and so many areas of our life, no matter what stage of life that you're in, where magnesium can really be that thing that can help us, from infertility issues, PMS, PCOS, migraines, you name it, insulin resistance, you name it. Magnesium deficiency seems to be at the root cause of a lot of the things that we're dealing with. So areas that we can help other women in our life through different phases of their life as well. So if you're new, welcome. My name is Diane, and I have been helping women in the area of health and fitness for about 25 years now. I'm a certified exercise nutrition coach and a certified running coach, and I have been going through some of these changes and deficiencies myself, and have really been kind of determined, I guess would be the better way, to help spread the word about how we can be in control of looking and feeling our best and living our most authentic life. And we really want to make sure that that is the way we are living as we're going through this aging process. We do that primarily through the process of intermittent fasting and creating a keto-like lifestyle for ourselves. We have a course on that. But there are other areas of our life that we really need to be paying attention to. And sometimes when we are in the effort of doing good for ourselves, we, without knowing, can create some areas of deficiency. And I think sometimes that's what happens with something as amazing as magnesium. So magnesium deficiencies in and of themselves accentuate the aging process. So being magnesium deficient can cause you to feel aged, in a sense. So we want to make sure that we are aware of the areas of our life where we are feeling some things and noticing some things, and making sure that we are treating them appropriately. And it could be as simple as adding some extra magnesium supplements into our nutritional life or daily routine. So the way that magnesium deficiencies really do accelerate the aging process are through the effects of neuromuscular, cardiovascular, and endocrine systems. So basically, all of those metabolizing type of or metabolic type of systems that we have going on that really seem to be falling apart on us as we start to age, magnesium can be that thing that can really kind of halt that aging process and, in a sense, reverse it. So magnesium intake, so are the levels in which that we take magnesium into our system, is very marginal in developed countries. So United States, Canada, UK, Australia, all the places that have, and I just named a few, who have the access to magnesium, really, we aren't utilizing it the way that we're supposed to. It's almost like that silent supplement that we just don't think about proactively adding into our life. So it's not it's not necessarily that we don't have access to something, it's just that we're not knowledgeable of it. So that's what we're going to try to do here in this community, is share the knowledge. At the age of 70, magnesium absorption is 2/3 of what it is at the age of 30. So just think about that. Again, just the process of getting older, like some other things that happen as we get older, the ability for our body to do what it's supposed to do is on the decline. We just lose the skill set, so to speak. So you want to make sure that as we are aging, we are paying attention to how much magnesium is involved in our daily nutritional life, because our body just is not absorbing it and holding on to it the way it used to when we were younger. Again, it's one of those things that we have to think above and beyond what is the norm, because if you're deficient in something, you have to consume it at the levels of efficiency or getting it up to efficiency before you can actually start being at that normal state. So if you're deficient, we're going to consider some things that we can do to get us back to efficient with our magnesium. So what are some of the symptoms that we should be looking for if we're magnesium deficient? Anxiety, excessive mood swings, fatigue, headaches, insomnia, lightheadedness, dizziness, bouts of nervous fits, sensations of lumps in your throat. And that's primarily for people who are on the farther edge of the aging process. And then impaired breathing can also be one of those things that could be a sign or symptom of magnesium deficiency. And so you're probably thinking, well, hey, Diane, I suffer from one or more of those things. Remember, these are very common signs and signals that our body is sending us. But what I want you to pay attention to is that these are signs and signals that we often think are related to other things. And you might go to more extreme measures to quiet those signs and signals or help satisfy your body so you're not having those signs and signals anymore, when it could be something as simple as magnesium. And then I always like to pause in a place like this and say, I am not a doctor, and I'm not someone that's trying to diagnose anybody or even give recommended daily allowances for anything. I highly recommend picking up books like this or doing some further research and then seeing if maybe a little trial error of adding in some extra magnesium in your life could help alleviate some of these signs and signals that your body's sending you. And I know in this community, what we have really felt with increasing our magnesium intake is a relief in insomnia, fatigue, night sweats, and a lot of those symptoms that our perimenopausal and menopausal life has brought to us, and adding in magnesium has really helped with that as well. Magnesium and hormones are directly related too, and we'll talk about that in another live discussion coming up. So the title of this was, Could Magnesium Save Your Life? I'm going to share with you some studies that have been done recently that show mortality and magnesium deficiency. So in 2006, so not too long ago, the Journal of Epidemiology, I think is how you say it, reported that 40%, there's a 40% lower risk of dying from all types of cancer. So let me say that again. 40% lower risk of dying from all types of cancer and cardiovascular disease in men whose magnesium levels were highest compared to those men who had magnesium levels who were lowest. And I know that's a lot of words in there. So what the study reported was, they did a study with men. I don't know why just men, but I got some good news for us women coming up. 40% lower risk of dying from all types of cancer and cardiovascular disease if your magnesium levels are where they're supposed to be. So you're not deficient in magnesium. So right there is enough to give us that optimism, or even just that need to know information to up that magnesium in our daily nutritional intake. So then in 2014, so just 4 short years ago, another study was published that documented a 34% lower risk of all causes of death in men and women with a higher intake of magnesium. So to me, I'm that kind of person that goes, okay, that study right there is enough for me to look at what I'm doing in my daily nutritional life and what I'm doing in my supplementation, and can I benefit from increasing my magnesium intake, and can I benefit from making sure that I am sufficient in what I'm doing in my nutritional life to make sure that my magnesium levels aren't dropping into that deficient category. 34% lower risk of all causes of death in men and women with a higher intake of magnesium or a sufficient level in their body or their system. So what is the magic number that we're trying to reach to get our magnesium levels where they need to be? Again, this is that area that's a little gray or a little unknown because every body has a different requirement based on stress, what's going on with your DNA, what your medical history is, what your family history is, how your body absorbs things like magnesium. We talked on Friday about, Michael and I and the differences that we have in the blood work that we get back, and we pretty much eat the same thing being a married couple, and how, his cholesterol looks completely different than mine, and he has iron deficiency problems in his blood where I don't. And so you want to make sure that you are kind of feeling your way through it and experimenting with what you're doing with your magnesium through your diet, as well as what you're doing through your own supplementation. The best thing to do is get blood work done to see if you have a deficiency in your blood system or your bloodstream. The problem with that these days is a lot of insurance companies aren't willing to pay for those kind of things. And from what I'm getting from the Magnesium Miracle is that the tests that they have today aren't always accurate. So when in doubt, I always say just up what it is that you are hoping to get in your life, and that is your magnesium supplementation. And it's very, very easy to do. Your body has a built-in protective mechanism, and I don't even want to say protective in a way that's going to sound scary, but your body knows when it has sufficient amounts of magnesium or too much magnesium. If you're taking in too much magnesium, what happens is your body creates sort of a laxative type of effect. So your body will flush it out of your system. It usually is noticeable through like loose stools, or you might have more of like a diarrhea type of effect. And that's when you can kind of pull back and then experiment until you get to the perfect level for yourself. So it is one of those things that you cannot necessarily become toxic by taking too much magnesium. Your body will send you the sign or signal that you have enough, or your body is getting to that level where it's too much, and it'll just kind of flush it through your digestive system. The recommended daily allowance, I'm going to share with you guys a couple of numbers, but again, this information is very outdated, and it should never ever be a guideline that cuts across the board, assuming that everyone is the same, but this is a good place to start. So magnesium recommended daily allowance for people over the age of 31. I'm just assuming that's probably our audience here. For men, it's 420 micrograms, and for women, it is 320, or I think it's milligrams. It's not micrograms, milligrams. So 420 for men, and women is 320. Or you can also base it off of 6 milligrams for every kilogram of body weight, which would equate to 2.2 pounds. So again, it's one of those things that you want to just maybe start with the recommended daily allowances and then work your way up until you almost get to that point where it's too much, and then find your happy place in between while you're paying attention to some of those signs and signals and seeing if some of the symptoms of being magnesium deficient end up going away for you. And I know for me, a lot of those signs and signals have definitely gone away. So let me see if there's any more information I want to share with you guys. 3 key things that I want you guys to take away from today, if anything, about the talk that we had. 3 things to know about magnesium and aging. So these are the 3 big things I want you guys to take away, other than that 2014 study about 34%. What was it? The 34% increase of surviving like all types of illnesses that are going to cause death can be alleviated with just the proper amount of magnesium in your system. So 3 things to know about magnesium and aging. 1, aging itself is a risk of magnesium deficiency. We talked about that in the fact that as we age, our body is less likely to absorb magnesium in the same way that it did when we were younger. So the difference between 30 and 70 and all those decades in between, there's a probability that you could just become deficient in magnesium because your body is unable to absorb it the same way that it used to. The second thing to know about magnesium and aging is magnesium has been found to be deficient in individuals with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. So again, it's one of those things that I'm going to bet that if I keep my magnesium levels high, I will be able to avoid a lot of those scary things that happen to fall upon us as we age. So we want to make sure that our magnesium levels are up where they need to be to help offset Alzheimer's and things like Parkinson's disease. And then the third thing is telomeres. They are the essential part of chromosomes that affect how our cells age. And they're finding that that when you are deficient in magnesium, your DNA is basically at risk of crumbling. You want your telomeres to be protected, and magnesium is that thing that will do just that. And we'll talk about a little bit more about that in detail as we go on with some lives concerning magnesium for sure. So is it worth it to look into your magnesium? I absolutely think that it is. I think it is one of those things that it's a simple fix. You can go to the local nutrition shop. You can drink your magnesium water like I'm constantly drinking with my San Pellegrino and my Mountain Valley. There are, let's see, I don't know what the actual breakdown of magnesium is in my mineral water, but you can look it up online for sure. I know Mountain Valley has magnesium listed on the label for sure. You can use Dr. Teal's Epsom salt baths. You can use lotion with magnesium. So you don't have to just ingest magnesium to get your levels up. You can also use it topically as well. And a lot of times using magnesium through absorption of your skin will help you offset some of that digestive upset that we get when we have too much magnesium going through our digestive system. So that laxative effect that I shared with you guys, you can actually avoid that by using magnesium topically through lotions, Epsom salt baths, and stuff like that. When I looked at some of the magnesium content of common foods, I kind of gasped a little bit because as an intermittent faster and someone who's very aware of the sugar issues that I have and living a keto-like lifestyle, there are a lot of foods that I have just eliminated from my nutrition because of the fact of what it's made of. I'm also gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and I'm avoiding a lot of high carbohydrate foods. And wouldn't you know it, when I looked at this list of magnesium content in common foods, most of these foods I no longer consume, which would put me, again, at risk of being magnesium deficient. I said that in the beginning. Sometimes when we are trying to improve one aspect of our life, we can also, cause some deficiencies in others. So we want to be aware of that and make sure that we are conscious or conscientious of what it is that we're consuming and what the nutritional makeup of those things are. So I'm going to share with you some of the foods that are high in magnesium, and then you guys can comment and let me know if these are foods that you're still consuming or you might have put on the not so much list, which could put you at risk for magnesium deficiency. So kelp, not a big kelp consumer personally. Wheat bran, wheat germ, almonds, cashews, molasses, brewer's yeast, Brazil nuts, Filbert's nuts. So some of those nuts that we consume in the keto-like lifestyle are going to be definitely ones you want to keep in for the magnesium benefits for sure. Peanuts, I don't eat peanuts anymore, so that's off my list. Millet, wheat grain, pecans, English walnuts, tofu, don't consume tofu. It's one of those high magnesium type foods. Coconut meat, brown rice, soybeans, don't consume soybeans either anymore. Figs, probably wouldn't eat figs just because of the sugar content of them. Apricots, dates, collard greens, shrimp, corn, avocado is high in magnesium, so we want to keep that on our keto-like food list for sure. Cheddar cheese, parsley, prunes, sunflower seeds. Chicken is okay as far as its magnesium levels go, and then it just goes down the list and gets a little bit less as we go. But some of those higher magnesium content foods are definitely ones that I'm no longer consuming just because of the lifestyle that I'm living with, what it is that I'm doing in my nutritional life. So I also make sure that I'm supplementing with magnesium through what I do with my Dr. Teal's lotions, what I do with my mineralized water, and then again what I'm consuming in my nutritional life. I try to get them in 3 different areas. So I hope this information was valuable to you. Magnesium is that thing we don't seem to talk about very much. It's not the sexy mineral. And I think we need to change the way we're thinking about that and what it is we're doing with our supplementation and making sure that we're getting all the things that we need to help us with our longevity and to offset some of those scary, diseases and illnesses that we see as a possibility in our aging journey, and we don't want to make them a probability. We want to keep them as far away as possible. So I think my Facebook dropped off for some reason, and I am gonna see if it's still there. If you guys, I think it might have dropped off. So I'm gonna answer all my questions on YouTube, and then I'll see if I can get back up on Facebook really quickly. If you are taking a magnesium supplement, comment for me in the comments below. I would love to see how many of you are aware of your magnesium. If you're putting some things in that might be extra, Dr. Teal's, maybe some mineralized water, or are you taking a magnesium supplement? And if you are, share with us what it is so that we can get some reference points to do some research where we might need to add in
Facebook never dropped off.
It didn't? Okay. Cool. So Facebook's still here. Okay, so let me jump on to, hey Michael, can you do me a favor? Oh, I got it. Never mind. Let me jump onto YouTube really quickly, and then I'm gonna jump onto Facebook. So Facebook, hold on for just a second. Irving, Texas is in the house. Dean, you're welcome, and no worries about the spelling of my name. That happens all the time. Susan, Ohio. I had an issue with abnormal heart rhythm when I started taking magnesium regularly. Also has helped with migraines. Awesome. That's good to hear. So you're finding some relief by upping your magnesium, and you were one of the signs and signals that was on the list. So congratulations on getting relief with that. Courage takes courage. I'm starting taking Dr. Dean's liquid magnesium. I put it in my water every day. I had horrible anxiety before taking it, had ringing in my ears, and the lump in your throat. The mag works. Awesome. Thanks for sharing your success with upping your magnesium as well. So again, you were part of that list of signs and signals for sure. And not knowing that magnesium and those symptoms are related, like I said, could lead us down a path of doing something else when it could just be something as simple as adding some magnesium to your water, or getting some mineralized water, or taking a bath in some Epsom salts on a regular basis. So we want to make sure that we're addressing these signs and signals appropriately for sure. Leah, you take it for sure. Lisa, a supplement Mag OX. Awesome for sharing that. Brand, yes, taking to help sleep aid and the bathroom. Awesome. That's awesome. That's great as well. And oftentimes you'll notice, like if you were suggested to take a calcium supplement, also oftentimes calcium and magnesium are supplements that are taken together, and magnesium is put with calcium to offset some of the side effects that calcium has on us digestively as well. So that's always good to know. And Dawn, 1 a day, 400 milligrams, great for sleep. Awesome, good for you. Sleep aid and bathroom as well. Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing that, you guys, on YouTube. Let me see what we got over here on Facebook. I think my Facebook on my computer is locked up. So let me see if I can get to my comments from my Facebook page here on my iPad, and then we'll answer questions and comments here. Okay, I got comments here. Awesome. Let's see. Okay, cool. Let's see. Janine, you're here. Awesome. Cindy, still on. Good. Winifred, no, but I have some. Diane, hello. Jacqueline, take magnesium and Dr. Teal's. Yeah, you'll see, like Dr. Teal's is right here. This is a really great lotion, you guys. We get this from Walmart, believe it or not. They have so many cool flavors. This is a lavender flavor, has cocoa butter, shea butter, vitamin E. We have these all over our house. I think they're like $5 a bottle or something like that. You can also get them from Amazon. I know Kara put a link up there for as well. for that as well. I put this on my body when I get out of the shower. I rub it into my feet when my feet feel sore. I rub it all over my muscles when I have a really intense workout. This stuff works wonders. And like I said, you can find it at Walmart. I think it's at Target, and you can get it on Amazon as well. So this is a super easy way to get some magnesium on you topically, where it doesn't have to go through your digestive system. So if your digestive system is sensitive to magnesium, that's a great way to get it into your system. Love the Dr. Teal's lotion, bath salts, bubble bath. I found a good selection at Target. I found magnesium drops at Whole Foods to add to my water. There you go, Teresa, good for you. Jacqueline, you add it to your mineral water. Anna, this is the one I take, Mega Food, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. That sounds good as well. So that brand is called Mega Food. Deborah, I take Sishu brand, calcium and magnesium, take 1 caps per day. Each cap is 100. Awesome. Anxiety for Deborah, irregular heartbeats and sleep are under control, taking magnesium. That's fantastic. Diane, I have had joint pain in my hands. I started taking it for myself, and within days, the joint pain has disappeared. Yeah, Diane, and I use that as well. Like, I literally like massage that Dr. Teal's lotion into like my knuckles and my hands. I massage it into my feet. I had really sore feet after my 10-mile run on Saturday, and I had Michael massage he's amazing. He massaged Dr. Teal's oil into my feet, and I felt so much better after that. So it is amazing for so many other things as well. And Winfred, VitaTree magnesium capsules, awesome. That sounds great too. And then Deborah, oh wow, I'll check Walmart here in Toronto. Yeah, Walmart's great. It has a whole section of Dr. Teal's, the bath salts, the bubble bath. We have shower gel, and then the lotions. And the great thing, like I said, is they're all coming in so many different flavors now. So it's like having smelly lotion, perfumed type of lotion, but it has all the good stuff and none of the bad stuff. So you don't have to sacrifice to smell good and get what you want out of your magnesium lotion topically as well. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. Go back and watch those or listen to those list of signs and signals. See if you can eliminate a few of those just by upping your magnesium. If you have access to a physician who will do a magnesium deficiency test, I would say that's always a great place to start to know whether you're deficient in the beginning or not. But again, keep in mind that a lot of those tests are outdated. The recommended daily allowance is also outdated, and it's very mainstream for the average person, not counting in the fact that weight is a definite differentiator as far as how much you should be taking every day, as well with how your body absorbs it and what you have been going on in your life and what age you are, obviously, because as we age, we stop absorbing it the way we used to. We are going to continue this discussion about magnesium because, like I said, this book is full of so many everyday things that we tend to suffer from that could be helped with just upping our magnesium game. Thanks so much for jumping on with me today. Share this broadcast with someone that you think might find some benefit in this information or from this community. If you're been hanging around and you are ready to jump in a course with us, just know that our November Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course registration is open. We are also trying to decide the date for our next F3 course for November. We're trying to factor in holidays and all that kind of stuff, but we'll have that up and running as well. And then our new monthly private group for personal development and just life improvement type of things will be starting in November as well. We'll be focusing on managing the holidays and managing our finances as well through the holidays. So stay tuned. I'll be announcing the official details on that this week as well. Thanks again for jumping on. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.